What's up, guys? Hope you all are having a great day. Welcome back to another video. For today, I want to talk about the March Madness tournament coming up and who I think is going to win. So let's get into it. So obviously, the four number one seeds are Illinois, Baylor, Gonzaga, and Michigan. Now, will any of those teams win is the question, because there's going to be a lot of upsets this year. I think with the way the conference tournaments went, with all these small teams winning each conference, like Georgia Tech winning the Big Ten, the ACC, or all these other small conferences, small teams winning their conferences. I could see it going that way in the actual March Madness tournament in the Big Dance. There's going to be a lot of upsets, in my opinion. I think one or two one seeds might survive and make it to the Final Four, but that's pushing it. There's a lot of good teams out there in that 1 to even 10 range. There's a lot of good teams, so it's really up in the air at this point this year, because it's in Indianapolis. There's not as many fans as it would be normally, and they're all in one location, so you're not gonna have the same atmosphere. So anything can really happen, just like this whole basketball year. Now, when it comes to teams that I think is gonna win, obviously Clemson's in it. A huge Clemson fan. I'm not going to bet against my team. I have been making it far in the tournament. My Final Four is actually Gonzaga, Alabama, Oklahoma State, and Clemson. Baylor and Clemson. That's my Final Four. So I have Gonzaga and Baylor in the championship, and Gonzaga winning it overall, just because they have a lot of talent on their team. They have a lot of NBA players. I think they have like 3 or 4 NBA players on their team, so they're very successful. They're a very great team on the defensive end and the offensive end. They can get up buckets no matter what. They average like 94 points a game. They're a hard team to beat. And then followed by that, I have Baylor. Even though they lost in the Big 12 tournament, I think they can turn around, flip the switch, and end up back in the college basketball championship against Gonzaga, because they average the same amount of points. They average like 90-plus points a game. And they play defense. They have multiple NBA players on their team, so they're definitely going to make a run to that final championship game against Gonzaga, in my opinion. And I think Clemson can do what South Carolina did. You know, South Carolina was a 7 seed a few years ago. They ended up making that run to the Final Four as a 7 seed, and eventually losing to Gonzaga, but they made it all the way to the Final Four, the 7 seed, and Clemson, the 7 seed. And I think they have that same talent ability. They've been up and down this whole year, losing to teams they shouldn't have lost to, and then beating teams that they had no reason beating. So, they're a back-and-forth team. It's just what Clemson will show up. If their good team shows up, I do think they can make a big, long run into the tournament, especially in the region they're in. The region they're in isn't as tough as the others. So if Clemson were to get past Rutgers, if they were to get past Houston, would be their next biggest challenge, the 2 seed, then I think they'd have a easier, fair shot at making it to the Final Four. So, and every team has a really good shot. Oklahoma State has a good shot. They're in the same region as Clemson. They have a great player. I forget his name, but he's a great player, great Oklahoma State player. He's like 6'8", point guard, point forward. He can play any position on the court. He's the number 1 overall pick. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. I wouldn't bet against Oklahoma State. They're a great team, great powerful team, great offensive team, and they're going to make a far run into the tournament as well. Then you have Ohio State's a good team. They got some good players on that group. They got a good bunch over there in Columbus. They can make a deep run. UC Santa Barbara. That's one of the upsets we're looking at versus Creighton, 5 versus 12 seed. Let me tell you, that is going to be a great game. I think that's going to be an upset. You had UC Santa Barbara. They average a lot of points, 80 to 90 points a game. Creighton just lost to Georgetown by like 30 points in the championship. So their heads are going to be down. They haven't played up. They played up and down the whole season. So I can really, really see that upset happen, and I can see UC Santa Barbara making it to the Sweet 16. If they pull a couple strings together, pull a couple wins together, they can make it far into the tournament. That's really who I have. I just want to go over my Final Four again. I have Gonzaga and Alabama, and then I have Baylor and Clemson. in my Final Four, eventually with Gonzaga winning it all over Baylor. So that's my March Madness take. Everyone has their own. If you've made your bracket, let me know down below who you picked to win. Who's your champion this year in March Madness? Let me know in the comments, and let me know who your upset picker is. Who's your bracket buster? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to like this video and subscribe. Peace.